China's always had something of a love-hate relationship with Hong Kong, its southern port, which, until it was handed back 15 years ago, was a British colony. In those days, many of the Chinese who lived there were fearful of being reunited with the motherland. In British Hong Kong, they'd enjoyed what they thought was a lifestyle infinitely preferable to that on the mainland. But since then, many mainland Chinese have prospered. They've done well from an economy which has powered ahead. And yet, as Juliana Liu explains, there's still tension between the mainlanders and those living in Hong Kong.
She cries throughout the hearing, sobbing so much the security officers repeatedly give her toilet paper to dry her tears. I'm sitting with the dozens of other reporters at Sha Tin Court in Hong Kong's New Territories, listening as Xu Li, a 29-year-old woman from mainland China, is handed a 10-month prison sentence. The judge, Andrew Ma, chastises her for putting lives at risk. The case is the first of its kind. You see, Xu Li is a travel agent, but instead of organizing tourists, she brings pregnant women from mainland China into Hong Kong, making arrangements for them to give birth here. Babies born locally to mainland parents get the right to live and work in Hong Kong. They're also entitled to hold a special Hong Kong passport, which is much easier to travel with than a normal Chinese passport. With so much to gain, it's not hard to see why so many mainland parents, most of whom can have only one child, would opt to deliver in Hong Kong. After all, it's one country, right? Well, not exactly, say Hong Kong residents, who are absolutely furious that almost half of all babies born here are the children of mainlanders. Their anger is particularly directed at people like Xu Li's clients. Some of them can't make proper hospital bookings because of the new quota system for mainland mothers. So they gate-crash hospital emergency wards when they're about to give birth, putting stress on medical staff and diverting their attention from local patients. Irate locals recently pooled their money to publish a full-page advertisement in Apple Daily, a popular tabloid newspaper. The colorful advert features a giant locust perched on a mountain, poised to invade Hong Kong. Locust, or Wang Cong in Cantonese, is a derogatory term used to describe mainlanders. To find out why Hong Kong people would give money to insult their fellow countrymen, I get in touch with a Facebook group behind the campaign. Only one person in the lively online forum agrees to speak. I meet Bruce Lee, a shy 21-year-old computer science student, on a sunny day at his university. Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated places on earth, so I'm not too surprised when the Baptist University campus turns out to be a series of dull tower blocks rising high into the sky. Sitting on one of the few outside benches, Bruce, named after the famous kung fu star, says he tried to persuade more people to talk to me. But they refused because the spelling of my surname marked me out as a locust, yet another undesirable mainlander invading Hong Kong. But I've just started a new job and have no baby plans, so how come I'm a locust? The word means different things to different people, Bruce explains. Not all mainlanders are locusts, he says, just the ones coming to hoover up the city's resources without giving anything back. Giving back. How exactly is that defined, I wonder? Many business people believe Hong Kong wouldn't be the Asian financial capital it is without Beijing's explicit support. And last year, 28 million visitors, and that's more than 4 times Hong Kong's entire population, came from across the border to eat, to shop, and spend a lot of money. And therein lies the problem. It's not just a specific battle for scarce medical resources. Part of the population here feels under pressure, under attack, and increasingly underpaid. When I was a little girl growing up in the mainland province of Hunan, my mother would speak of Hong Kong people with a certain tone of voice. It was amazing she could convey so much with so little, but the implication was clear. Hong Kong people spoke a strange language, they looked down on their mainland cousins, and they were rich. Some of those things are still true. Cantonese and Mandarin are mutually unintelligible dialects, and you can find locals who look down on mainlanders. But the last part, about money, is no longer as true as it once was. On average, Hong Kong residents have much more money than people across the border. But the perception now is that the richest people in the city are either mainland tourists or mainland business people who have no problem flaunting their newfound wealth and status. They're the ones with a seemingly insatiable appetite for the priciest property, the finest food and wine, and the most exclusive designer fashion. The former country bumpkins are now at the top of the heap, while locals occasionally feel like second-class citizens in their own city. Understandably, there is unease and resentment. The battle over babies in Hong Kong has unmasked another clash, one of culture and class, with a dose of jealousy thrown in for good measure.
Juliana Liu in Hong Kong.